I'll just get...
Can you give me Larry down as a board service?
Good morning. I'm Muriel Bowser, and I'm joined by my colleague, Councilmember Kenyon McDuffie, who chairs the Committee on Government Operations, and we are calling to order this joint hearing of the Committee on Economic Development and the Committee on Government Operations to discuss the four resolutions. Proposed Resolution 2095, 2096, 2106, and 2107. The first two, 95 and 96, are the proposed surplus and disposition resolutions for a property owned by the District of Columbia located at 903 Franklin Street Northeast. And the second two, 106 and 107, involve the surplus declaration resolutions and disposition resolutions for the SLO School. Both properties are located in Ward 5. District law requires that before the district sells or leases district-owned land, we must first go through two procedures. The first is determine that the property is surplus or no longer required for public purposes. Mr. McDuffie's committee is responsible for ensuring that determination. The second step is to determine that the terms of the disposition, price, benefit to the district, compliance with the comprehensive plan, CBE, and first source compliance are reasonable and also in the best interest of the District of Columbia. If my committee and Mr. McDuffie's committee both make these determinations, the full council will be asked to approve the disposition or for lease or sale of these properties. So let me say a little bit about the properties. At 903 Franklin Street, in the Northeast, the property was built in 1955 with additional work completed in 1958 and is located in Ward 5. The property is estimated to be about 3,000 square feet and is improved with a two-story building containing 3,900 square feet. The property was acquired by the district in 1968. According to DGS, the property is no longer required for public purposes because the property is very small, lacks dedicated parking, and in its current condition necessitates cost-prohibitive renovations to adaptively reuse the property for the district's use. Additionally, the maintenance required to preserve the building in its current state is likely to continue to increase. In June of 2012, DGS issued a competitive RFO, and the Muscatellos, a uniform supply store currently located 1 block away from 903 Franklin Street, was chosen out of 3 offers because it included the highest purchase price. The Muscatellos proposed to use the building for storage and proposed to pay $230,000. The Slow School, built in 1948, it is also located in Ward 5 in Brookland. The land area is estimated at 89,000 square feet, and the property is improved with 2 buildings that are connected by a corridor consisting of 54,000 square feet. The property's overall condition is between fair and average. The property was previously a DC public school. In 2007, the district entered into a collaboration agreement with Mary McLeod Bethune Public Charter School, who's represented in our audience. In 2008, DCPS closed the DCPS portion of the property, and the Bethune Public Charter School remained and continues to operate there today. In response to a competitive solicitation, Bethune Charter School was selected as the tenant because of their academic record and its longstanding commitment to DC students. And they were the only offerer on this property, and a 20-year lease is proposed. So let me turn to Mr. McDuffie, and also let me remind everybody that we will follow the general rules of the committee and hear from public witnesses, followed by the representatives of the government. And the government is being represented by the DGS's Jonathan Kane, who is the Associate Director of Portfolio. Mr. McDuffie.
Thank you, Councilmember Bowser, and good morning. I'm Kenny McDuffie, Councilmember for Ward 5 and Chair of the Committee on Government Operations. I'm happy to be holding this joint roundtable with the Committee on Economic Development this morning. It is especially convenient given that Councilmember Bowser and I sit on and chair both committees. PR 20-95, the 903 Franklin Street Northeast Surplus Declaration Resolution of 2013, and PR 20-106, the Slow School Surplus Declaration Resolution, fall under the Committee on Government Operations jurisdictions. There are a multitude of properties that the district owns, and from time to time, because of changing needs of district agencies, the condition of buildings, and other factors, it is advantageous for the district to declare those properties surplus and dispose of them. Additionally, declaring property surplus can, in cases, remove blight and bring new tax revenues to the district. Approximately 11 properties came before the council as surplus during the last council period, and these are the first 2 for our committee this year. Both of these properties are located in Ward 5, as Councilmember Bowser stated. The Franklin Street property has essentially been used as a storage facility, or really a junk closet for the district. The building is in poor condition, and I believe the community will be happy to have a new use for the property. As a matter of fact, former ANC Commissioner Von Bennett has also expressed his support for the disposition of this property. The Slow School property has been used by Mary McLeod Bethune Public Charter School since 2008. The building's ideal use is as a school, and there are likely not so many other feasible uses. The one concern I do have regarding the use of the property is the performance of the school, and to be honest, I was extremely discouraged to learn that Mary McLeod Bethune was identified in OSSE's latest report as a school with possible cheating on the DC CAS test. However, I do know there is lots of community support for the school, and that the former ANC 5A supported this use. I also think it's important to note that I've had occasion to meet with and speak with Dr. McKay, and I am sure of her commitment to the students of Mary McLeod Bethune, the parents, the faculty, and the staff of Mary McLeod Bethune. and I'm certain that the school is in capable hands. All that being said, unfortunately, the Committee on Human Services, of which I'm a member, had to push back their budget markup from last week to today, and it's starting right now. And so I'm going to have to leave this hearing in the capable hands of Councilmember Bowser so I can join my colleagues on the Committee on Human Services so I can vote in the markup. I am going to have my staff monitor this hearing, and I'll be following up with questions to the committee to witnesses if necessary. But again, thank you for this joint roundtable, Councilmember Bowser, and thank you for the witnesses who are here today to testify.
And thank you, Mr. McDuffie. I think we have some students who are going to be the first to be called up, so let me turn to them. Nakeem Johnson, Justin Richardson, Camille Canu, Danielle Flowers. And why don't we get one extra chair for, and we'll add the fifth student. And Miriam Boy. Thank you. We have a sixth student? Okay. Why don't we try to squeeze you in on this side, young lady? And then when the time comes, we'll just switch around so that you can get to a microphone a little bit easier. What's your name, dear? Madison Parker? Okay. Nakeem,
Yes.
you want to start?
Yes. Good morning, City Council.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Nakeem Johnson. I am in the 8th grade at Mary McLeod Bethune-Day Academy Public Charter School. I've been in this school since the 5th grade, and I truly believe that this is an excellent school. This school is very diverse, and once I am promoted to the next level, I will be more than prepared to mingle with people of different races and cultures. We have teachers that are from 14 different countries and have teachers from all over the U.S. We have teachers and students of all different ethnicities: Hispanic, Asian, Jamaican, American, African, and even Palestinians. But to kind of take things back a little further, into my 5th grade year was very rough because I was new and I really didn't know too many people. Over the course of my first semester, I began to develop relationships with my peers. I also developed relationships with my teachers because they believed that I had the potential to be anything that I wanted to be in this world. I am very thankful for the resources provided by the school, such as Macintosh laptops, a new school playground which we completed Wednesday, May 15, 2013, high school lunches, clubs to express and develop talents, and free transportation daily. To conclude, I will be entering the 9th grade at DeMatha Catholic High School with the talents, academic, and social skills to be successful. I will miss this great institution and hope for the best for the students behind me. Thank you, City Council, for giving me this opportunity to speak.
Thank you, Nakeem. Is it Justin?
Yes.
Okay, Justin.
Good morning, everyone of the City Council. My name is Justin Richardson. I attend Mary McLeod Bethune-Day Academy Public Charter School, and I'm in the 8th grade. I live in the Brightwood area. I have been here since the 1st grade. I believe that this school has a plethora of things to offer. At Mary McLeod Bethune, I take Spanish and Latin along with 8 other classes. Our school also offers free transportation. Many schools do not have the same opportunities that we have. Our school provides us with extracurricular activities such as flag football, basketball, soccer, and track and field. I believe that this school has grown tremendously. We started out as a school in a church, and now we have our own facility. This school has helped me blossom into the young man I am today. Our school also has a variety of different cultures. Our staff includes people from 14 different countries. I am glad my parents made the right choice in sending me to this school. Last year, Mayor Vincent Gray presented me with the most outstanding all-around student award at the DC Stars Awards program. I am graduating from Mary McLeod Bethune this year and will be attending Benjamin Banneker Academic High School in the fall with all the knowledge and skills that I have learned from this wonderful institution. Thank you for the opportunity to share some facts about my wonderful school.
Thank you, Justin. Camille?
Good morning, City Council. My name is Camille Cunu, and I live in the Brooklyn community. As of the year 2011, when I first joined Mary McLeod Bethune-Day Public Day Academy Public Charter School in the 7th grade, I was welcomed with open arms by teachers who cared. The school has teachers and staffs from 14 different countries, meaning we as students are exposed to many different cultures and languages. The schools allow students to learn the language of Spanish and Latin. We are provided with rich curricula that includes classes such as art, music, health, and PE, as well as library. We are provided with fresh breakfast and lunch, a salad bar with fresh produce grown by the school, and free transportation, as many schools do not. We are also allowed to take an international trip in 8th grade at the end of the year, free of cost, paid for by the school. As of this month, the school is having a new and improved playground being built by 200 or more volunteers. I have learned that I will always keep in mind the things I've been taught by the staff, teachers, and students. At the end of this year, I will be leaving and going on to the 9th grade. I highly recommend this school to the students and parents out there who want a school that cares and helps students in need. Thank you for allowing me to share with you about Mary McLeod Bethune-Day Academy Public Charter School.
Thank you. Danielle?
Good morning, City Council. My name is Danielle Flowers, and I'm in the 6th grade. I attend Mary McLeod Bethune-Day Academy Public Charter School. I live in the Anacostia neighborhood. I have been in this school since pre-K. When I was in pre-K, I had a difficult time on understanding how to do most of my work. Sometimes I would give up because I didn't understand. But there was always a teacher that wouldn't give up on me. There was always a teacher that would stay with me until I understood. I improved every year since I've attended this school. To this very day, I have been an honor roll student because of the helpful teachers. I am thankful for the opportunities this school has given me, such as learning Spanish and Latin, having the football, basketball, track, and baseball teams, and many more. If I need extra help, I could attend tutoring. My school doesn't only take care of regular students. It also takes care of students with special needs. Special teachers come into our classrooms to help us be successful too. My school also makes sure that we are saving the earth and going green. We have planted vegetables and flowers. We have recently planted trees in front of our school. In conclusion, this school has made me a successful student. Last year, I was awarded Most Outstanding Elementary Student by the D.C. Association of Public Charter Schools. I would highly recommend this school to any student who is struggling with their work. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Danielle. Miriam? Just turn the top of the microphone towards you. It should bend your way. There you go.
Good morning, City Council
Good
members.
morning.
My name is Marion Boyd. I attend Mary McLeod Bethune-Day Academy Public Charter School. I am in the 6th grade. I have attended Mary McLeod Bethune-Day Academy Public Charter School since 2004. The school started on 42nd Street in the Richard England building. Then it went to 16th Street, which is a part of a church. We started to go to tennis for free, which will start some of our careers. Now we stand on the school grounds of Jackson Street. This school has a lot of opportunities. We have wonderful teachers. Even when you are down, the teachers bring you back up and turn things around. We also have extracurricular activities. These are some examples of our activities: track and field, baseball, basketball, flag football, soccer, drama, and more. At this point in time, I participate in the following extracurricular activities: soccer and drama. This Wednesday, we are getting a new fascinating playground to help us exercise and enjoy play. This school goes larger and larger. First, we started with 90 students, and now we have 360 students. Mary McLeod Bethune has free transportation. Because we have our own transportation, we were able to go on a field trip to the Corcoran Gallery of Art last Wednesday. The musicians at the gallery played our pieces that we personally made. I felt exhilarated to hear our pieces and how good they sounded. In conclusion, I had a lot of experiences at this school. Going to Mary McLeod Bethune is a better chance of getting a scholarship. I would like to recommend students to come to Mary McLeod Bethune-Day Academy Public Charter School. All you need to know is that education is the key to work success. Thank you for enabling me to take the chance of representing my school.
Thank you. Thank you. Madison? Good job.
Good morning, City Council.
Good morning.
My name is Madison Parker. I attend Mary McLeod Bethune-Day Academy Public Charter School as a 3rd grader. I I think we should stay in our school building for 25 more years because this is our home and we've been here since 2009. Our school was named after a black woman named Mary McLeod Bethune. She made sure everyone got a good education. She used berries to make ink for her students to write with at her school. Our school provides us a good education too. We learn new things like multiply, division, and even about new artists. They provide us with healthy breakfast and lunch every day. We have a salad bar that serves us lettuce, tomatoes, carrots, onions, beans, and cheese. We also have a school garden that students and parents come to and help us plant the fruits and vegetables like strawberries and cabbage. We enjoy going to specials like music, library, physical education, and art. I enjoy drawing and learning about the color wheel. I like reading new books in library. I like doing drills and PE. And music, I like singing and playing different instruments. That's why I think we should stay in our school building at 1404 Jackson Street Northeast, Washington, D.C., so we can continue our good education. Thank you for letting me speak today.
Thank you very much, Madison. I really appreciate your testimony. So why don't you guys tell me about your building? What's it like? You want to start, Justin?
Yeah.
Okay.
For us, it provides us with more open space than it did back when we had our other facilities. Now we have our own multi-purpose room where we can have PE and gym instead of being cramped up in one room.
Okay. Do you use the whole building?
Yes.
You do? Okay. And I know this. I know your school. I've been to your school before. It's been a long time ago. Do you still have in the back of your school? Is there a big trailer back there that people use as an office?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay. The demountable, is that still there? Okay, I'm going to ask your board members about that because I've been there too. But it sounds like you're getting a new playground.
Yes.
Okay, and that's exciting. That's for all ages.
Yes.
Okay. So what types of things are going to be at your playground?
A slide.
A slide. Okay. Are there swings? Okay. Is there a basketball court there?
Yeah. They did a new basketball court for us.
They're building a new basketball court? Okay, that sounds exciting. Now, are there some things about your building that need some work on the inside?
Not right now. I don't think so because it provides me with the education that I need, so I don't see any need for change.
Okay, so you live in Brightwood, you said.
Yes.
Okay. How do you get to school every day?
My aunt takes me to school every day.
Okay. And what about, somebody told me they came from Anacostia. That's you? Okay. How do you get to school every day?
My mother drives me there.
You get dropped off? What about you, Miriam? What neighborhood do you live in?
I live in Fort DuPont Terrace.
In Fort DuPont? So you get dropped off too? Okay. What about you, Madison? Do you know what your neighborhood is called?
Yes.
What's it called?
Saratoga Street.
Saratoga Street. Okay. What about you, Nakeem?
I live close to the new and improved H.D. Wilson.
I hear you. All right. I like it. All right. That's fantastic. So you guys come from all over, so you get to meet folks from all over the city. That's really exciting. So who takes the free transportation you were all talking about? You do? So you have, oh, good. So what is to pick you up, from the Metro?
No, it picks us up from the Boys and Girls Club.
Talking to the microphone, Nakeem.
Picks us up from the Boys and Girls Club on 42nd Street.
Okay, picture, because is that where your school started, close to 42nd Street?
Yes.
Okay, I gotcha. So how do you like traveling that distance in the morning? How's it riding the bus?
Riding the bus is always a great experience because you always hear kids laughing and playing and having fun, but never too much and too much noisy.
Okay, so what grade does your school start?
Preschool.
It starts as preschool, so you have 3-year-olds at your school.
Yes.
Okay, and Justin, you've been there since the first grade?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've seen a lot of changes, haven't you?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're in the 8th grade, Nakeem. Are there 2 8th grades?
No, it's just one 8th grade.
Okay, and how many students in that class?
Around 16 to 17, approximately.
Okay, you're in that class too, Justin?
Yes.
Okay, and you're going to Banneker?
Yes.
Are there other 8th graders sitting up there? Where are you going, Camille?
I'm going to Duke Ellington.
Awesome. That's exciting. And what grade are you girls in? 6th grade and a 3rd grader. Okay, so I think I have a very good representation of what's going on now. But you didn't tell me what your favorite subjects were.
My favorite subject is math.
Excellent. What about you, Camille?
Mine is also math.
Math. Miriam?
Mine's also math.
Oh, my goodness. What's going on at that school? We have a lot of mathematicians. What about you, Madison?
Math.
Math, too?
Math.
Math. Writing, okay. All right, well, that's exciting to hear. So I'm going to hear from some parents from your school and Miss McKay. They are going to tell me a little bit more about your school. But I have to say, you guys have been very articulate and you have presented very well. So you should be very proud. Thank you for coming down.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Georgia Green. Teresa Grimson. And Linda McKay. Green, would you like to start?
Yes. Good morning, City Council members. I'm a member of staff of the Great Mary McLeod Bethune Day Academy Public Charter School. I have been employed there for the past 3.5 years. Not only am I a teacher, but I'm also a parent of a bright 10-year-old boy who attends this school. I also serve as a teacher representative on the Board of Trustees. As a teacher at this great and ambitious institution, I'm often given opportunities to sell my school, for want of a better word. For those of us who may not know, this school was founded by our executive director, Dr. Linda McKay. And it started in very humble beginnings with 90 students. Now we have grown to 360 students. The fact that parents from all quadrants in the city attend our school speaks accolades of the great work we do. Our PTO body is very active and is constantly seeking ways to bolster parent participation and support endeavors of the school. Our school was recently recognized by OSSI for the outstanding special education services we provide for our students with special needs, service second to none. As a parent, I can speak highly of the caring and nurturing environment the school provides. As a teacher, I can attest to the deep-seated interest members of staff display in the academic, physical, and social development of the students. We do this not for show, but because we know no other way. Our school mission and vision drive our delivery and motivate us to provide vicarious experiences for our students. We do hope the City Council will favorably consider extending our lease for the next 25 years. We have started a great work. We cannot afford for it to be interrupted. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Green. Ms. Grimison?
Good morning. Thanks for having me here.
Good morning.
I am a neighbor of the school. I live 2 doors down from the school. I'm a parent of a 5-year-old boy in pre-K 4. He's been at the school for the past 2 years, and I've been on the board of Mary McLeod Bethune Day Academy for the last year. So I can tell you that when I looked around at schools and I had several different options for my child, I was very impressed and delighted once I got inside the school to see the students, the teachers, the administration, and just it felt like a warm, happy school. And that's where I wanted my child. And of course, the bilingual Spanish and English immersion program was very compelling for us as well. Ultimately, we did the full lottery system and were accepted into a couple of other schools. And I just said, this is the school that I want to commit our family to, and I hope that both of my sons will eventually go all the way through 8th grade there. As a board member, I can tell you I've gotten a better look in kind of the behind the scenes, and I can attest that it's a well-managed school. I think appropriate focus on the academics, and obviously there's a lot of discussion about testing and, where the school needs to be as far as scores and ways to get there, and there's constant focus on the continued professional development for its teachers and administrators. I've been very impressed, and I was coming not from an education background, so I've learned a lot over the last year. I can say, speaking from the community as well, that the school is an asset, and they've been, I think, doing all the right things to improve the facility, and not only, we've heard about the playground, which is so exciting for the kids to have an opportunity, a safe place to play and exercise and have an outdoor classroom and what have you. And the school has brought in, through its partnership with Kaboom, a major donor to take care of most of it. The school has done 10% of the fundraising for it and has just pulled it off with aplomb, and it's been a huge team effort that has really galvanized, I would say, community support and focus. People are excited, and they see this as a real asset in the community. So I think, honestly, Mary McLeod Bethune is a jewel in the crown of D.C. public charter schools, and I think it's only going to get brighter in the years to come. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. McKay?
Thank you, Councilwoman Bowser. The Mary McLeod Bethune Day Academy Public Charter School was chartered by the D.C. Board of Education in 2004. It opened its doors to provide school and quality education programs to D.C. residents for students in grades preschool 3 through grade 8. Since its inception, Mary McLeod Bethune Day Academy has operated in many ill-suited for school facilities. We served our students in Ward Memorial Ward Memorial Church, Richard England Boys and Girls Club, 6th Presbyterian Church, and in 2008 we were able to move into the SLO Educational School building. At that time it was in a demise condition. Since that time we have made many renovations and rehab to the school to make it suitable so that our children can say this is a good, safe place to come every day and to learn and work. We have a very high-quality language immersion program providing Spanish to students. In the 5th grade, our students begin Latin, and so all of our students exit with language acquisition in 2 languages that will help them with their academic careers. We have made HVAC, heating repairs, boiler repair and maintenance, painting, landscaping, and just about anything our budget can accommodate to make this a suitable building for our students. I want to applaud D.C. City Council for providing the direction for meeting the school facility needs and by providing appropriate facilities to meet the stated educational needs. I thank Ms. Grayson, our parent and board member, who stated that Mary McLeod Bethune and Mrs. Green parents who invest in our school and give us their children, their treasure, for more than 9 hours a day, 5 days a week. We are a school that is a community school. All charter schools are neighborhood schools, and Mary McLeod Bethune becomes a neighborhood school to students living throughout all parts of the city, all wards of the city. Presently, 43% of our students reside in Ward 5, with the balance from every ward of our city. And so we're very pleased and honored to have our children, and we would be most anxious, we are most anxious to have this 25-year lease so that we can continue with a guarantee that we will provide academic services to our students.
Thank you, Ms. McKay, for for your remarks. I want to thank you all for your remarks and definitely preparing the children who testified, who did a fantastic job, and we, of course, are pleased to hear from them. They give the best testimony about what you do at your school, and it's always good when you have a kid from 1st to 8th grade. I know what that means. All the teachers will be crying, at the promotion ceremony to see the children move on. So you've been in this building since 2007?
Yes, we were co-located with the Slow Elementary School. At that time, we had 80 students, and Slow Elementary School had 60 students.
Okay.
And they were pre-kindergarten through grade 6.
Okay. And how have you had the building evaluated for its needs, its physical needs moving forward?
Yes, we've had several assessments. In readiness for the response to the RFO, we had assessments and surveys completed for HVAC system, asbestos, maximizing space, and so we've done the full gamut. Most recently, in readiness for a response to a city build application, we had another group come in and do the same type of survey. So approximately 3 years later, we have done the same thing. Councilwoman Bowser, may I just be a little off track? Councilman McDuffie did say something about the test security or test integrity of the DCCAS, and it was found that it was inconclusive. We were identified for one classroom, but after the test investigation, it was unfounded for any cheating taking place in our school.
Well, thank you for putting that on the record. I think it's certainly, I can probably speak for a number of my colleagues in saying that we want to support good schools. And your school has been growing steadily since you've been in that building. We know that you, and you can correct me if this has changed, are graded as a level 2, a tier 2 public charter school. How would you evaluate your trend?
Our trends, we receive, our population increases about 21% annually. And so, as the students said, we had 90 students when we began, and every year we have increased our population. We have a waiting list now for students. Because we believe in not just growing our own, but developing a culture in a school community, we no longer accept or receive 8th grade students, 7th grade, or 6th grade. So our students start from early childhood and move up with us. So we could have even a larger population if we had a ceiling increase. But in terms of trends, I think our enrollment increases and will continue to increase once we have that permanent physical facade that everyone can know Mary McLeod Bethune operates at 14th and Jackson Street, as Madison said. And if we academically, our students are doing very well. You've listened to 2 students, 3 8th grade students who are going to flagship schools in D.C. DeMatha is in Maryland, but still very good school. So our academics are moving every day. And just as the students talk about the extras beyond reading, math, science, and social studies, we believe in developing the whole child. We believe in talent development, social development, character development. As you see these students right now and presenting before you, that's how you would be able to interact with them at any time that you saw them. And we take credit along with their parents because we value developing good character in our students. We are working on becoming candidates for the IB, the International Baccalaureate. Our staff has already begun
going to the training. Our application is in. Our early childhood teachers are moving with the NACE, National Association for Education of Young Children accreditation.
Now, let me just jump in, because you mentioned that you're a neighborhood school.
Yes.
And that just over 43% of your children are from Ward 5. How would your school support a change in our policies with public charter schools to allow a neighborhood preference?
I'm sitting with our board member, but what I will say to the testament of our school and to the integrity of its founding, its charter, charter schools and neighborhood schools, once it becomes a charter, it becomes the neighborhood school when that student attends the school. And I don't believe that a child is relegated to attend the school in their neighborhood just because they live there. I think that as a District of Columbia, a child should have the right and ability to go to any school where their parent chooses.
Well, let me say this differently. So if I lived across the street from your school, I live on the other side of Jackson Street, and we have these great things happening, and the city council has given you the exclusive right of this building for the next 25 years. And I see these wonderful things, Spanish immersion, new playground, children going to excellent high schools, and then I encounter your waiting list. And I say, well, you know, I don't want to go across town, I want to go across the street. So my question is, because I want to see good schools in school buildings, not in church basements. But I also want to be able to tell the neighbor, if you have a great school across the street from you, what are we going to tell that neighbor?
I am going to tell the neighbor that our enrollment period is January 19th through March 11th. Please quickly get your application in. And I will yield to our board member, Mrs. Grimison, who is a neighbor, who has also done a tremendous amount of recruiting. And through that recruiting and word of mouth, we don't spend a dime on marketing for the school in terms of advertising. But through word of mouth, when people see good things happening, they want to be a part of that. So,
You know, I think that I would agree with you. If I lived across the street, I would want my child to go to the school too and have perhaps a preferential position there. I don't know much about the politics and where that kind of movement is. I can understand the desire for that, though. I certainly, I've spoken to a lot of neighbors who have children, you know, in my children's age ranges, and have encouraged them on some level to, you know, have their child look into the school. But it's such a personal decision for everybody, I'm really invested because this is where I would like my child to go, and I have been extremely pleased with the results. My 5-year-old, not to brag, I'm a mother, I think is reading at second grade level. It's ridiculous. I had to take some inappropriate refrigerator magnets off just the other day because I can't have him reading them. And the Spanish his speaking Spanish just tripled. So anyway, I go off topic, but I can understand the desire, and I certainly, as a person in the neighborhood, I can see where people would want that. I just don't really understand all that's at play there.
Okay, but I put that on the table and as a board and certainly as a school leader to say that this is a question that eventually is going to come to a head in our system.
Where do you think that is, Dee?
I think we're close to when we have schools that are located very close together, you know, the public charter school and the neighborhood school, where they're, you know, drawing from the same pool of kids. I think that's when you start getting, because one school is going to displace the other eventually. It's just no way around it. And if that happens, what is the by right school for that family?
And may I just reflecting on our students who just spoke, where you have one student from Brightwood, one from Fort DuPont Park, one from Deanwood, I would hate to think that my children would not be able to be afforded the experiences they have at Mary McLeod Bethune.
Right.
When you talked about tears running, we were sitting back there wiping tears because those students, and I could have called any, on Friday I asked them to come to my office and write a 2-minute statement about the school, and this is what they did.
Right, and that's the flip side of the neighborhood preference issue. Some kids from across the street might be able to go, but some other kids from some other neighborhood that might not be able to go. And so that is that makes it a complicated question. And it challenges all of us to make sure that we have excellent schools everywhere. Everywhere, and that's the challenge. So I don't know any more about your school than what you've told me today and meeting your kids, and I've been in that building many, many years ago. This is a neighborhood that I grew up in, and so that DeMountable is still there.
Yes, I'm glad you reminded us. That DeMountable is not Mary McLeod Bethune.
Are they using it still?
The ANC uses it.
And the government is maintaining it such that it is? No?
It's in horrible condition.
Okay.
It's dangerous. It's an issue. But we've been so busy doing so many other things that, frankly, that's falling on the back burner.
Is there space in the building for public use?
When we moved into the building 100%, we did offer to allow the ANC to use our library area for community meetings because we want this to be a community school.
But there's no dedicated space for
At
ANC
this point, there
office.
is not.
Okay.
We offered that in the very beginning, but we have since stretched out.
Okay, I got you. Well, I think those are my questions. There may be, if there is anything that comes up between now and when the committee moves. Do you have any time pressures on your lease, on this arrangement?
No, we've been waiting for a few years. So.
All right. So I think, and there were no other offers on the building, so I think it sounds like the other charter schools recognize that you're there and you're doing a good job there and you should stay there. So that's encouraging as well. If there are any other things that come up, we will be sure to get in touch with you. Thank you for your testimony.
Thank you.
Are there any other public witnesses? Anybody else who wishes to testify on any of these resolutions? Okay. With that being said, I'll call the government to testify, and we'll hear from Jonathan Kane.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, Mr. Kane, I have your statement. You may introduce your colleagues and deliver your statement.
Okay. To my left is Althea Holford, Realty Specialist with DGS. And to my right is Ian Zipfel, also a Realty Specialist with DGS.
Okay, thank you.
Althea works on our school deals, and Ian worked on the 903 Franklin transaction.
Okay, great, thank you.
Okay. Good morning, Chairperson Bowser and members and staff of the Committee on Government Operations and the Committee on Economic Development. I am Jonathan Kane, Associate Director of the Portfolio Division with the Department of General Services. Today, I'm pleased to testify on PR 20-95, the 903 Franklin Street Northeast Surplus Declaration Resolution of 2013. PR 20-96, the 903 Franklin Street Northeast Disposition Approval Resolution of 2013, as well as PR 20-106, the Slow School Surplus Declaration Resolution of 2013, and PR 20-107, the Slow School Disposition Approval Resolution of 2013. 903 Franklin Street, northeast property, located in Upper Ward 5, 1 block from the Rhode Island Metro Station, was originally constructed in 1955, with additional work completed in 1958. The property is approximately 3,982 square feet, has been in the district's portfolio since 1968, and in its past has been used by a masonry company as well as storage for items such as documents and tires. The property is located at CM2, which permits the following uses: charter school, laundry facility, animal shelter, artist space, light manufacturing, stores, office, repair garage, fast food restaurant, or a small hotel or inn. Prior to determining the property as surplus, DGS conferred with the District Department of the Environment for the use of the property as an air quality lab. DDOE was not interested in the property. Further, DGS considered and ruled out other district agency uses due to extensive problems with the building: extensive holes in the roof, no functioning mechanical system, deteriorating joists, damages from leaks, as well as its small size and lack of dedicated parking. However, DGS did not rule out the use of the property by a local business, and with input from the Office of Planning, issued a request for offers in June 2012. In addition to the RFO, DGS contacted for-profit and not-for-profit entities that own or occupy properties within a half mile of 903 Franklin Street, advising them the property was available for lease or purchase. DGS also contacted real estate agents who had leased or sold nearby properties in the last year and placed a notice on LoopNet.com, a commercial real estate website. This process yielded 3 offers. Of these, Muscatello's, a D.C. resident-owned uniform supplier, offered a purchase price of $230,000, which was substantially higher than the other 2 offers, and provided proof of funding to support the purchase price and improve the property. Muscatello's plans to use the property to relocate storage space from its Rhode Island Avenue headquarters. It should be noted that no parties sought to lease the property, and the district would likely be responsible for property improvements for a tenant had an offer sought to lease the property. The proposed sale to Muscatello's is expected to result in more than $315,000 in new revenue to the district over 20 years, $230,000 for the purchase price, plus an estimated annual tax revenue of $4,250. DGS, in accordance with D.C. Official Code, Section 10801, held public hearings on October 15, 2012, and October 24, 2012, at the Nose School to gather community input on the proposed surplus and disposition. There were no comments against the proposed surplus and expressions of support for the proposed redevelopment by ANC Commissioner Bennett. Finally, the proposed surplus and disposition of this property tracks with his Office of Planning's goals in the comprehensive plan, including reducing the number of vacant structures in Upper Northeast, encouraging redevelopment of non-productive industrial sites, and avoiding the displacement of small and local businesses due to rising costs. For the above reasons, DGS is confident that the proposed sale of this property to a long-standing local business would benefit the district financially, as well as provide additional and much-needed space to Muscatello's so that it remains in its current location on Rhode Island Avenue. Slow Elementary School.
Why don't I ask you some questions on this one before you
Sure.
talk about SLO? So you had 3 offers on this. You described, or it's described in the analysis, the second offer was from a nonprofit who offered half of what the selected offer was. Is that
Correct. So the offers were about half. In addition, the proposed offer of $230,000 is above the appraised value of the property.
And what was the third offer? Or
I'm going to look to Ian for
The
that.
third offer was a local auto repair shop that currently leases space on the same block.
what have we been using the building for?
It has been vacant, so we
How
haven't been
long
using
has
it.
it been vacant?
I don't know how far it dates back. I've been with the district approximately 5 years, and it's been vacant for the 5 years that I've been here.
And how did we come to own it?
I'm not sure. I would have to get back to you with that.
So we've never used it for the district's purposes?
Not that I'm aware.
What's the condition of the building now?
It is very poor condition, so somebody to operate it would have to put in extensive repairs, including replacing the HVAC system, replacing the roof, and make significant improvements to the interior.
And so the Muscatello's plans to use it for storage? Like
Correct.
a warehouse?
Correct.
Okay. Is there an outdoor space? The council member before he left mentioned that there was some storage and it was being used like a junkyard. Is there like an outdoor space there?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. And the building is secure?
Yes.
And how soon would, and does the sales agreement require that these repairs be made within a certain period of time? Do we have any ability to claw back the agreement if it continues to be in the state?
Yes, so typically, I'm not sure specifically of what their most recent schedule is, but typically our agreements require that improvements be made within a certain period of time.
Okay.
Do you have a specific?
And what was the outreach to other district facilities or district agencies to see if they could use the property?
So I think what we do on a regular basis, particularly my group, Portfolio Division within DGS, we are constantly looking at leases that are expiring as well as agencies that have needs. So what we do is when there is a need or an expiring lease, we evaluate the portfolio and determine if there is a potential user. And in this particular case, because of the level of renovation work that needed to be done as well as the size of the building, we do not have a district user that can meet that need.
Okay, and you can confirm that the building is secure, free of graffiti, and free of any other blight conditions
We
currently?
will confirm that for you.
Okay. And, okay, let's talk about the slow school.
Okay. The property located at 1404 Jackson Street Northeast is a closed DC public school building consisting of 54,500 square feet of building space and 89,489 square feet of land space. The school, originally built in 1948 and modified in 1951, 1966, and 1967, contains two buildings. The overall condition of the property is fair to average, although many of the mechanical systems, including the HVAC system, are in need of repair. On September 1st, 2007, the district entered into a collaboration agreement with Mary McLeod Bethune Public Charter School for shared use of the property. 1 year later, DCPS closed the public school portion of the building, and the charter school remained as the sole tenant. The tenant has operated in the building since that time. Under the requirements of the Landrieu Act, the then Department of Real Estate Services it issued a competitive solicitation on September 25, 2008, to invite eligible applicants to submit a proposal for reuse of the school. No offers were submitted, and the solicitation closed. Subsequent to the DRES RFO, the Deputy Mayor for Planning and Economic Development issued a solicitation through the Deputy Mayor for Education. The existing tenant, Mary McLeod Bethune, was the only one who offered and was awarded the building. The proposed method of disposition is through a ground lease for 25 years with a 25-year renewal option. The base rent of $784,393 per year is slated to increase by 2% annually. However, to ensure affordability and the success of the charter school program, there is a landlord concession for operating expenses in the amount of $10 per square foot. This transaction also includes a rent credit. For every $1 million that the charter school spends on construction costs for approved capital alterations, the tenant shall receive a 12-month credit or abatement of its annual rent. In no event shall this abatement be more than 180 months throughout the term of the lease. In the option period, the annual base rent will adjust to a fair market value rent. The proposed lease also requires the charter school tenant execute and comply with First Source hiring agreements, CBE requirements, and the Green Building Act. The long-term ground lease was selected as the most beneficial disposition method because the district will retain ownership of the asset while shifting responsibility for maintenance, operation, and capital repair to the proposed leasee, and allows the district to impose restrictions on the site, enabling it to retain possession in the event of a tenant noncompliance. Additionally, the proposed disposition assures the community of continued access to the existing educational institution serving students from preschool through 8th grade, which serves the public purpose of providing educational services to the Ward 5 community. In conclusion, DGS believes that the proposed surplus and dispositions of 903 Franklin Street and Slough Elementary School are in the best interest of the district. The district will receive financial consideration for the proposed Franklin School disposition while providing additional and much-needed space to a thriving local business. Further, the proposed ground lease of the Slough property to an existing public charter school tenant will allow children to remain in and attend their school for years to come. Thank you for the opportunity to testify today. I'm happy to answer any of your questions.
Thank you. So is this a typical arrangement that you have on school buildings?
It would be. Typically, our arrangements are 25 years with 25-year options. The current rent is based on an appraised value, and the structure that we are using is typical of a charter school transaction.
How many of these transactions have you done in the last year?
In the last year, I'm
last
looking to
2
Althea,
years.
call it
The leases, I would say
Four.
approximately 4 or 5.
yeah, about 4 or 5.
What are they? I know you just did one with Paul.
We did Paul, Rudolph, which was with
Washington Latin.
Washington Latin,
We're currently in negotiations.
with Maya Angelou for Evans,
Yep, with Webb.
with Kip.
Yep.
And
But those aren't done. Those are
No,
being negotiated.
those are being negotiated still.
Where are you with the lab school?
The lab school, we expect to submit that that package to council within probably this month, late this month.
So are Paul and Rudolph the only ones that you've done
This year, I believe so.
this year? Okay. I would be interested to see like a matrix of the
Sure,
deal
we can get
points. I would say for the last 2 years.
And I apologize, if you can just say that again, matrix of the deal points, just to see how
So
the
what are the
transactions
terms?
compare.
How long is the lease?
Okay.
How did you appraise them? How did you calculate the base rent? What types of concessions were offered in each case? Like in this one, you describe the sort of a rebate in the base rent until it reaches fair market value, in addition to the capital construction costs being rebated from the base rent as well. I imagine that, those terms may be different on another deal.
There could be slight deviations from one transaction to the next, but overall, I would say, for the most part, the basic structure is the same.
What is your standard for the grounds around the building?
The tenant in their lease are required to maintain the building as well as the grounds, if the grounds are part of their defined premises.
And what is the DGS's posture about grounds?
I think in any property where a non-district entity is in a district property, we look for that user to maintain the property at a high standard, make sure trash is picked up, landscaping is cut. So, there are standards that we look for the property to be maintained.
Okay. I'll just say, as we have, and we expect to have more closed buildings that you're going to be negotiating and having this discussion about, I think it is not in the DGS or the district's interest to transfer fields.
Okay.
Like you did with Washington Latin, for example.
and that's actually part of the discussion we're having with DPR. So we've had recent discussions with DPR about this exact same issue.
Well,
So-
I've been having this discussion for the whole time you were negotiating the lease, and I have to tell you, it's very disappointing that that property was transferred from DPR to a situation where we'll have very little to say about what happens to it. So I would, if we need to pass a law, or if it could be your policy, not, because what we're doing is basically turning over our ability to control that land to a non-government entity, and that is a huge concession, and that has a very high value. I don't have to tell you how access to fields is a serious issue in our city, and I think we should have as much control over it as possible.
And that actually is the conversation we're having right now with DPR and KIP over Webb and working on that.
Well, it's too bad that it didn't happen for Rudolph. And actually, I might want to discuss with you how we can exert, moving forward, more control over that situation. Because the last thing we want is for, and I am, as you know, a huge supporter of that school being in that building and out of 3 different buildings and trailers along 16th Street, an actual school, as well as I'm very supportive of making sure E.L. Haynes had a beautiful building and an ability to build their high school. But now I'm also having to negotiate with them over what's going to happen with the grounds, and that's not the position that we should be in.
We welcome the conversation.
So, having said that, this building, Slow School, does not have a field, correct? There's no field there. So what we're talking about is the playground, blacktop area that I'm familiar with, basketball courts, and where their playground is going to go. And so they will have control over that space, as well as the responsibility to maintain it.
That is correct.
Okay. Now, the other demountable that's on the space, what are you doing with that? Now, I say that having grown up basically in that demountable. My father was the ANC commissioner there for a lot of years, so I've been in and out of that demountable, and it was challenging a long time ago. So I imagine the condition that it's in now, if it hasn't been improved. So what are you doing with it?
So it was recently brought to my attention. I have somebody from my group who is now looking into that. The demountable is located on a property that technically is under the leasehold interest of the school. So we're going to need to figure out, with that unique situation, how we improve the quality of that, or help the ANC try to identify an alternative location. So I can't give you the answer sitting here today, but I'm glad to follow up once Regina Payton from my group has the ability to do some more exploring.
Well, I'm sure they're not going to want to be kicked off. Okay.
That would be my guess as well.
So that would be the last thing I think the school would want to be. You don't want that. Just trust me on that. So we want to figure out how, and your lease should recognize that they have the ability to stay there, does it?
I don't know. I would need to, if it identifies it.
We'll have to draft that part into it, but we haven't drafted the lease yet.
There's typically language for subleasing on leases. I don't know if that language, it seems that language is not specific to the ANC trailer.
Now, what ANC is this in now? I know there's been some change in boundaries in Ward 5. Is that still 5A, ANC 5A?
I believe so.
I would, let me follow up before I provide the answer. We can provide you with that answer.
Okay. Has the ANC supported this lease?
The ANC chairman has, at the public committee, Bennett, has supported the disposition.
Okay, but there was no ANC resolution?
Is there an ANC resolution?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. If there is, can you make sure that we submit it, and the school officials might, if they're aware of one, might also do the same. So we'd be interested to see, as I mentioned, the kind of the matrix of let me see what I'm looking at here. Is this? Okay, I'm just looking at your report from the appraisal, which shows some comparables. So that may be the place where you start with your kind of comparison that you're going to give me about the deal points. Do you have anything else you want to put on the record about these two surplus and the surplus and dispositions for these two properties, 903 Franklin Street Northeast and 1410 Jackson Street? Is that right?
I do not. We
Okay.
appreciate your time.
Well, those are my questions. I want to thank everybody who took the time to come down and put your thoughts on the public's record. I think we just have a couple of follow-ups from you, and then I intend to recommend the disposition of these properties. Thank you, and we're
Thank you very
adjourned at
much.
11:20.
Thank you.